first time since I've been acting I agreed to the job before I read the script.
I wanted Val Kilmer because he's very handsome, of course, as a leading man. Looks wonderful in the new Batsuit. But there's a dark, interesting, introspective, mysterious presence to him, which I think, and a lot of heart and soul and humor. And I thought he would be a wonderful Batman and Bruce Wayne.
He's a quadrillionaire and has conned the city into believing that dressing up funny is okay, or at least worth considering. Something really elemental that Bob Kane created that fascinates people. Legitimately part of the attraction of the character is that he is a guy, because of his wealth, that can afford to make up these weird things to fight crime with.
Robin, el joven maravilla, alter ego del héroe, hereda el nombre del famoso ladrón medieval, Robin Hood, luego de que su familia entera fuera asesinada en un acto de circo.
It was exciting. I, like everybody else, have been wondering, why Batman, where Robin had been all this time, and so here I am.
I chose Chris O'Donnell because in the past, Robin sometimes has been portrayed as a kind of wide-eyed, innocent, golly gee whiz person, and young people today are very complex. They live in a complex world. I thought it was important that Robin be a very strong young man, very self-assured, with some anger, with some heart and soul, with some strength, so that he would be a good partner for Batman.
Read the comic book. It's this guy with a top hat, kind of blue, and he lives uptown, and he's like got a. And then you saw the TV thing with Burgess Meredith, and this, that, and very good, and everything. But you don't want to hop into that, right? Now this guy comes up with something that is like so unique, so individual, which is this guy's makeup anyway, Tim.
Probably the hardest thing about working on the movie is not laughing while Tim was working.
He's hateful, pretty hateful guy. But at the same time, he's fascinated with every aspect of his own thought process.
He's a comic master. He's a brilliant young actor. He is so hardworking. He rehearses for hours in front of the mirror. His facial expressions, his dialogue. He worked with a man who's an expert with a cane, his hat, all the props, all the toys, all the gadgets. And he's funny and scary, and he's an extraordinary talent.
I play Dr. Chase Meridian, who is a criminal psychologist who's brought to Gotham City because she specializes in dual personalities. She meets Batman, becomes obsessed with him, and then she meets Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne falls in love with her. So it's actually this love triangle. Well, obviously I'm not Catwoman, so it's similar to the Vicky Vale character in the first one, in the sense that I am more the love interest.
Nicole Kidman is, of course, very beautiful, but she's also an extraordinary young actress. And I think in this film she was able to bring. I tried to put a lot of humor in the film. I think that she was able to show her side of her sense of humor, which in a lot of dramatic roles she hasn't had the chance to before.
Joel Schumacher pasa a tomar las riendas de la serie cinematográfica de Batman, dándole una nueva óptica a la extravagante original visión de Tim Burton.
We're friends for a long time, and Tim has been very supportive. But he was very busy with his own movies. He did Ed Wood, and now he's doing a movie, Mars Attack, and so he's been busy. I think he was very glad to have someone else take over Batman because it had been a lot of hard work and energy for him.
Para el director Joel Schumacher, darle vida a los cómics no fue una experiencia tormentosa.
I grew up on the streets in New York, and, rock and roll and comic books and movies and pop culture were my background, and so comic books are really what we call storyboards in the movie business. You know, when you go to shoot a scene, sometimes you draw frame by frame what's going to happen. That's a comic book. And movies, in a sense, are living comic books. And this one, I went right to DC Comics, and I got hundreds and hundreds of comic books of Batman from 1939 till now. I looked through them all, and color, action, love story, very strong relationships. I think it's a movie about partnership, about duality, about finding yourself, about revenge, and a lot of fun and games too. It isn't a Joel Schumacher film. It's really made for the public.